You know, turning around a struggling care home is arguably one of the most demanding challenges in the entire healthcare sector. It can feel completely overwhelming, isolating, and frankly, exhausting. But today, we're walking through a highly practical, step-by-step explainer on the Canwick House Recovery and CQC Outstanding roadmap. We're going to unpack exactly how you transition a care home from a place of high regulatory risk and low morale into a thriving, self-sustaining environment of true excellence. And the best part? This isn't just management theory. It's a direct, tested action plan focused entirely on the four-phase Canwick plan. Here's how we're going to tackle this today. We'll start with the care home crisis, move right into Phase 1, stabilize, then Phase 2, build confidence, Phase 3, continuous improvement, Phase 4, achieving outstanding, and finally, we'll look at the reality of excellence.
All right, Part 1, the care home crisis.
Before we can even talk about getting to outstanding, we need to ground ourselves in the tough reality that almost always precedes a turnaround. If you're stepping into a struggling home, you know this feeling in your bones. It's that exhausting cycle of constantly putting out fires instead of actually leading. We usually see a massive breakdown in coherence. You'll often find that digital systems, which are supposed to make life easier, are totally underused. Instead, people revert to these risky, scattered paper fallbacks. Routines drift apart, documentation gets incredibly messy, and the very foundation of your daily operations just kind of crumbles.
And the thing is, these symptoms don't happen in a vacuum. They feed off each other. When you lose that coherence and there are huge gaps in the care vision, it creates a literally brutal cycle for the people actually on the floor. Staff are exhausted, they feel unsupported, they feel like they're just playing whack-a-mole, constantly correcting mistakes rather than actually providing care. And when morale plummets like that, we see this quiet dropping of quality standards. Staff just do the bare minimum to survive the shift, which, no surprise, leads straight to a massive inspection risk across all the CQC domains: safe, effective, caring, responsive, and well-led. It is an incredibly fragile, high-stress ecosystem.
But here is the ultimate life raft, a highly practical, time-bound, four-phase roadmap for the entire turnaround journey. We aren't just telling teams to do better, because we all know that doesn't work. We are linking care, systems, and people together into one clear, unified direction over roughly a 5-month period. Let's break down that first phase and see how it builds. Phase 1, stabilize. This covers weeks 1 through 4. In this phase, you are not worried about innovation, you're not worried about redecorating the lounges. Your absolutely uncompromising primary goal here is sheer survival and regaining basic control of your care home. The whole point is stopping the immediate bleeding. To do that, we focus entirely on the safe and well-led CQC domains. First up, you have to establish safe routines on absolutely every shift, 0 exceptions. Second, hit those medication compliance audits immediately. Medication errors are massive red flags, right? Third, review and retrain your team on basic documentation standards. And fourth, you've got to set crystal clear accountability. Handover expectations have to be rigid and structured so absolutely nothing falls through the cracks between shifts. While you're doing that, you've got core, background projects running simultaneously. You've got care vision recovery, which basically means fixing how you use your digital systems so they're actually consistent and reliable across the board. At the same time, you're driving medication excellence. This is the gritty, absolutely crucial work of rebuilding compliance from the ground up, making sure your medication administration records and pathways are flawlessly safe.
Here's the catch, though. You cannot do this alone. A successful turnaround cannot rest on one manager's shoulders. It will literally crush you. You have to build what's known as a Cotter coalition. Find 3 to 5 staff champions on the floor who actually believe in the change. Then, create some honest urgency. Share the data, share the resident feedback, be totally transparent about the risks, but whatever you do, don't scaremonger. Work with those champions to build a specific, inspiring vision. Something like, by this date, Canwick House will be a place residents are proud to call home. And then, communicate it relentlessly. Every huddle, every handover, every single supervision. You have to anchor it right into the culture.
Moving on to Phase 2, build confidence. This is weeks 5 through 10.
Okay, so once you've stopped the bleeding and stabilized the environment, the whole tone fundamentally shifts from survival mode to actively empowering your team. To hit those effective and caring CQC domains, we have to lean into the human element. You need to adopt situational leadership, which just means understanding exactly where each team member is at and managing them accordingly. Your supervisions have to shift away from those dry, transactional, box-ticking exercises and become real, developmental human conversations. Think about it. If your most experienced senior care has completely withdrawn and is doing the bare minimum, you need manager-to-manager empathy. Sit down one-to-one and ask, hey, what's changed? Do you still feel like you belong here?
Once you re-engage your staff, then you can authentically review those person-centered care plans with residents and relaunch activities, and not just as a nice-to-have, but as a top clinical priority for well-being.
There is a real dual focus happening here. On one side, you have a rock-solid commitment to identical, high-quality daily standards, ensuring those critical processes happen flawlessly on every single shift. On the other side, you have resident engagement, bringing the color and life back into the home through activities, themed days, and deep, meaningful engagement with resident well-being. The standards keep you safe, for sure, but the engagement, that's what makes you caring.
Phase 3, continuous improvement. We're looking at weeks 11 to 18 now. This is a beautiful turning point, honestly, because it's where the culture you've been pushing so hard starts to actively improve itself. The momentum finally starts doing some of the heavy lifting. In this phase, your actions are generating hard, concrete evidence for the responsive and effective CQC domains. You've got to formally gather resident feedback and link your daily practices straight back to the CQC's single assessment framework quality statements. Embed a visual audit cycle. Make it so staff can literally see the progress they're making on the walls. Proactively engage families with "you said we did" surveys. And this is absolutely crucial. Celebrate and name every single improvement win. Did you pass the medication audit? Shout it from the rooftops. Did a resident have a fantastic day out? Make sure the whole team knows. Build that momentum.
Behind the scenes, transformational visibility is vital. Leadership isn't hiding in an office answering emails. It's clear, present, and guiding the team right there on the floor. Meanwhile, your CQC readiness is locking into place. This means your evidence and those foolproof audit systems are finally catching up with the great care you're providing, securely logging everything so it's ready the second an inspector walks in.
Phase 4, achieving outstanding. Month 5 and beyond.
And now we enter the final paradigm shift. Your home has moved from struggling to surviving to good. Now we're aiming for truly thriving across all 5 CQC domains. And it's amazing to see how the human effort over the last 5 months maps flawlessly against those 5 CQC key questions. Your medication and incident work? That's secured safe. Your coaching and competency assessments delivered effective. That intentional one-to-one engagement proves you're caring. Integrating families and focusing on person-centered care makes you responsive. And all that clear accountability and transformational leadership you built from day one, that proves without a doubt you are well led.
But listen, getting to outstanding doesn't mean you just put your feet up. It means ensuring this phenomenal level of excellence is self-sustaining. This is a massive achievement, and to maintain it, you need to conduct a real culture review. Ask the hard question, can everyone genuinely be themselves in this home? You have to ensure transformational leadership exists on every single shift, even when the registered manager is off duty. You build a robust evidence portfolio linked directly to quality statements. You start innovating way beyond just good practices. And finally, becoming truly outstanding means looking outward. You apply for the Outstanding Society so you can share your learnings and help elevate the entire care sector.
Finally, Section 6, the reality of excellence. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to prepare you for a concluding paradigm shift on what regulatory excellence actually means when that CQC inspector inevitably walks through your door. There's this incredible quote from Cheryl Champion, an ex-CQC inspector, that really hits the nail on the head. She says, "Outstanding is not about having no problems. It is about how you respond to problems, how honestly you know your service, and most importantly, whether the people you support can genuinely be themselves." Honestly, this should be a massive relief for every manager listening. Inspectors are not looking for a shiny facade of perfection. A perfect home literally does not exist. They are looking for honesty, self-awareness, and a culture where both residents and staff are empowered and authentic.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to reflect on for your own leadership approach today. Is your care home ready to respond honestly to its challenges, or are you just exhausting yourselves trying to appear perfect? By following a structured roadmap like the Canwick Plan, you can finally build a culture that embraces the honest, messy work of continuous improvement. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and best of luck on your journey to outstanding.